In my heart, I always felt we shared a flawless union once upon a time. There were whispers about USA couple that others looked up to, wrapped in a love so profound. Laughter echoing in the air, and a rhythm to our words that felt like a perfect dance. Each sentence seamlessly completed by the other from the very first encounter. I sensed he was destined to be my chosen one. He filled my heart with a sense of being cherished, adored, and truly irreplaceable. Our journey together was a tapestry of beauty. In our haven, we crafted a space brimming with warmth, where dreams intertwined and quiet moments blossomed, making love a seamless journey. He would delight me with blooms for no particular occasion. Weekend getaways, both planned and spontaneous, and keep me near on chilly nights, softly murmuring that he would never cherish anyone the way he cherished me. I placed my trust in him. I found myself without a single reason to hold back, yet in recent times, a shift had occurred. It began with a gentle whisper, extended hours at the workplace, conversations that meander and wander. A certain flicker of unease danced in his gaze. I reassured myself that it was merely the weight of stress, that every union experiences its share of trials. Yet the uncertainty slithered in, gradual and relentless. Then, one evening, he spoke of it. In the soft glow of the dimly lit room, we found ourselves nestled in bed, his arm comfortably resting over my waist. Creating a sense of warmth and intimacy, he let out a sigh, then, with an air of nonchalance, asked, "Can I share something with you? It's merely a fleeting notion, nothing to take too seriously." I grinned, anticipating a whimsical revelation. Perhaps a whimsical tale of relocating to a distant island or embarking on an exhilarating new quest. "Indeed," I responded. His fingers danced across my skin, weaving intricate patterns. Thoughts have been swirling in my mind, contemplating the experience of sharing moments with another soul. Only a single time. No strings. Only. A thirst for knowledge, a chill swept through the room, wrapping around everything like a whisper of forgotten tales. My breath hitched in my throat. Yet I summoned a laugh from deep within. "That doesn't bring a smile. I assure you, I'm serious." His voice carried a serene quality, almost unnaturally so. "It's not about affection. It's merely a dream, a longing of the heart." I pivoted to meet his gaze, probing his features for the familiar essence of the man I once knew. "Are you seeking approval to deceive?" No, he replied swiftly. "It's not deceitful if you agree." Words eluded me. Thoughts swirled in a whirlwind and my heart beat like a drum. He cradled my face in his hands, his eyes filled with a desperate longing. "My heart is yours, and it will forever remain so. But do you ever find yourself pondering, just imagine a world where I withdrew?" An unexpected urge for solitude washing over me. "No, I do not." With a heavy sigh, he turned onto his back. "It was merely a fleeting notion," he whispered softly. I yearned to embrace that notion. I wished to convince myself it was merely a passing intrigue, that it held no significance beyond the surface. Yet, I was aware of the truth. Wishes held a weight far beyond mere innocence. They were the hushed revelations of longings we dared not voice. And my husband had just shared his tale with me. I attempted to cast the conversation aside, persuading myself that it was merely a fleeting notion. Yet, it was not. In the weeks that followed, he revisited the topic once more. With great care and deliberation, I tread lightly, ever mindful of how I might respond. With every moment, it slowly eroded a piece of my very essence. In the beginning, a fire of anger burned within me. "What could possibly lead you to utter such words? Am I not sufficient for you?" His response remained constant. "It's not about that. It's merely a spark of wonder, a thirst for knowledge." That word turned my stomach. I began to delve into every detail. Was he already involved with someone? Had he encountered a soul that stirred these thoughts within him? Or was I simply no longer sufficient? The creeping dread gnawed at my insides. I found myself glancing at his phone when he wasn't paying attention, observing his expressions with an intensity that felt almost too keen. He observed, on a quiet evening, he remarked, "You're getting lost in your thoughts. Nothing has been accomplished yet." However, that was the word that lingered in the silence. Then, one evening, he wove the tale anew. "What if I allowed you to embark on a similar journey?" He observed me intently, as though that would somehow level the playing field. As if that would ease the pain. I chuckled with a hint of bitterness. "This is not the essence of the tale. You wouldn't want to see me with another. You simply seek the green light." He simply accepted it. For days, it lingered in my mind, an unshakable thought that wove itself into the fabric of my days. What if I were to refuse? Would he proceed regardless? Should I agree? Would it lead to our downfall in any case? It seemed as though I was slipping away from victory. I longed to express that I stood firm in my resolve. I expressed to him that my love was not a mere trinket to be set aside, while he lost himself in a world of make-believe. Yet, the reality is, I was filled with fear. fearful of the consequences that might unfold if I dared to refuse. Worried that perhaps he was already on the verge of stepping away, on a night like no other. Following yet another deep and draining exchange, I found myself softly uttering the words I had never imagined I would speak. Very well. His face brightened, his eyes sparkling with an elusive glimmer that I couldn't fully identify. Anticipation? A sense of calm, a wave of numbness washed over me. It felt as though I had relinquished a fragment of my very essence. Are you certain? He inquired. I found myself adrift in uncertainty, questioning everything around me. Yet, I gave a slight nod. Perhaps, just perhaps, this might be sufficient to hold onto him. Little did I know just how mistaken I truly was. As soon as I uttered that affirmative word, a change swept through the air between us. He felt a buoyancy, a sense of elation, as if he had just been released from the chains that bound him. I convinced myself it was all just a figment of my imagination. I remained the one at the helm. Yet, within the depths of my being, I was aware. What I had lost was something that would forever remain out of reach. In the beginning, I lingered. Perhaps he would reconsider, come to understand that this wasn't worth jeopardizing what we shared. Yet, he moved forward without a moment's pause. In just a matter of days, he found himself weaving intricate plans. I observed him from a distance, as he immersed himself in his phone, his spirits rising in a manner they hadn't in quite some time. Then, one evening, he shared his tale with me. In a moment that felt like fate, our paths crossed. The words struck me like a sudden gust, leaving me breathless. So soon, he stood there unwavering. Indeed, that's true. I simply wished to share my truth with you, truthful. The irony wrapped around me like a heavy cloak, stifling and inescapable. I willed myself to maintain my composure, nodding as though everything was perfectly fine. As if this was a scenario I had anticipated all along. In a manner, I indeed had. I simply wasn't prepared for the depth of the pain it would bring. On the night he set out to meet her, I found myself alone in our bedroom. Gazing up at the ceiling. My thoughts echoed the events in vivid detail. In the tapestry of our love, the vows we exchanged, the way his gaze would linger on me. The nights wrapped in his embrace, whispering promises of eternity. And now, here I found myself, poised in the silence, anticipating my husband's return from the embrace of another woman. As he stepped through the threshold, there was no hint of remorse in his gaze. He appeared content. At ease. As if this had been nothing more than a long day at work. I yearned to unleash a cry, to insist on every nuance, to compel him to experience the same excruciating burden that pressed down upon me. Yet, I chose not to, for I had already uncovered the truth. Instead, I summoned the courage to ask the one question that filled me with dread. Did you ever truly hold love for me, for a fleeting instant? His expression wavered before a deep sigh escaped him. Indeed, I do. Yet, it was not the response I sought, for love was never meant to evoke such emotions. It was never meant to make you feel like a visitor in the very heart of your own marriage. And that was the moment of realization. He had never sought the approval of others. He had been seeking an escape. I held back my tears. I remained silent. I simply sat there, allowing the heaviness of it all to wash over me. The most troubling aspect wasn't the act itself. It was that I had allowed him. I had woven a tale in my mind, believing this was the sole path to hold onto him. He glided through the house, embodying a sense of normalcy as if the world outside had not shifted at all. Perhaps for him, nothing ever truly mattered. Yet for me, the world unfolded in an entirely unique way. His touch was unfamiliar, his voice a mere whisper in the backdrop of a larger tale. I let go of the anticipation for his messages, no longer troubled by his late arrivals. The version of me that had battled for our cause had vanished. Time flowed, transforming days into weeks. He continued to encounter her. At first, he made an effort to conceal it. Yet, as time passed, he ceased to care at all. He would return, the scent of her perfume lingering in the air, his phone illuminating with her name. He never inquired about my feelings. He was under no obligation to do so. He was already aware. As the night unfolded and he prepared to depart, I found the courage to finally speak. Will you ever consider bringing this to a close? He paused for a moment, then let out a deep sigh. I'm uncertain. It was the truest expression he had shared in ages. That was the moment. It was in that instant that I realized my journey had reached its conclusion. I rose to my feet, moved past him, and began to gather my belongings into a bag. He observed me, initially puzzled, then filled with worry. What are you up to? I remained silent. I had no reason to. After what felt like an eternity, I finally rediscovered the essence of who I am, not the shattered, yearning soul that had pleaded for his affection. Not the woman who had lingered in quietude, anticipating his decision to select her. I had decided I would no longer wait. Just as I reached for my keys, he finally found his voice. In the depths of my heart, I always yearned to hold onto you. I turned to face him, a hollow void echoing within me. Then you ought to have held on to me. And with that, I stepped into the world beyond. Not merely from our home, but from the part of me that once held the belief that love alone could suffice. For true love, genuine love, should never have needed to plead for my presence.